The alien ships blotted out the sun, casting the Earth in an eerie darkness even at midday. It was as if an immense shadow had fallen over the planet. People cowered indoors, peeking out from behind their curtains to watch as the sky grew darker by the minute. The last 5 years had been hell on Earth. First came the UFOs, then the alien invasion, and now this. From inside his heavily fortified bunker, President Wilson watched the alien fleet take over the skies. Every major city on Earth had been reduced to smoldering ashes. The aliens had come in peace, or so they'd said. But once they'd landed, they'd opened fire on the cities, wiping out entire populations in seconds. Human governments had fought back, but it had been futile. Conventional weapons had no effect on the alien ships. Tanks, jets, and missiles were simply swatted away like pesky flies. And now the aliens were winning. There was only one chance left to stop them. A secret project known as Deadeye, a last-ditch effort to develop a weapon that could destroy the alien ships. It was humanity's last hope, a weapon that could end this war once and for all. But would it be in time? Aboard the flagship, the Supreme Commander watched the humans scurry around like ants. His 4-year-old son pressed his face against the viewport. "Are we going to win, Daddy?" he asked. The Supreme Commander stroked his son's hair. "Of course we are, little one. The primitive Earth species is no match for us. Soon, this planet will be ours." He turned back to the view screen just in time to see the first missile streaking toward his ship. It moved with impossible speed, a burning streak of fire against the dark backdrop of space. He waved his hand dismissively. "Get that thing out of here, will you?" "It's blocking my boy's view," but before he could dismiss the threat entirely, the missile exploded, bathing the flagship in brilliant white light. There was a sharp crack like the report of a cannon fired in the silent vacuum of space. The explosion knocked the Supreme Commander off his feet. He stumbled, cursing, and pressed himself against the viewport, shielding his eyes against the glare. When he could see again, he found himself staring at a gaping hole in the side of his ship. Flames and smoke poured out of the breach, and the terrified screams of his crewmates echoed around him. He raced toward the bridge, where the captain stared in disbelief at the view screen. "Report," he barked. "What happened? Is the weapon online?" The captain shook his head, his face pale. I don't know, sir. The missile I couldn't believe it. It just tore through our shields like they weren't even there. And now the weapon, it's not responding." The Supreme Commander felt a chill crawl up his spine. He looked back at the view screen just in time to see another missile screaming toward them. "All right, fire the lasers." "Take out that missile." The captain snapped into action, barking orders as the crew scrambled to comply. A red laser bolt shot out from the side of the ship, striking the missile. It was knocked off course, but not before it exploded, showering the flagship and its crew in even more shrapnel. The Supreme Commander roared in frustration. He watched helplessly as the humans launched missile after missile, each one tearing into the side of his ship, each one bringing him closer to death. He slumped down in his chair, defeated. His son peeked into the room. "Daddy, why aren't we shooting back?" The Supreme Commander forced a smile. "We are, son. We're just running out of ammunition. It's almost over." He closed his eyes as another explosion rocked the ship. Was this the end? Had the humans finally won? Suddenly, the missiles stopped. Confused, the Supreme Commander opened his eyes. The bridge crew stared at the view screen in stunned silence. The flagship was surrounded by a ring of fire, the burning wreckage of the human missiles. But through the smoke, the humans had one last trick up their sleeve. A single word blazed across the view screen in bright red letters. "Nuclear launch detected." The Supreme Commander felt a cold dread grip his heart. He knew what this meant. The humans had one last weapon, a weapon of mass destruction. They'd held it back until now, hoping it would force the aliens to retreat. But it was too late. Now the aliens were trapped. The humans had deployed their nukes while the aliens were still on their way to the planet. They'd been baited, and now the Earth was about to blow.